Emily, how long have you been there?
Oh, just for a few minutes. Rosie didn't let me in. Sorry I left. Should have stayed here with you. No.
They found the wreckage. There was no sign of survivors.
Take the stand, Mrs. Catwell.
Well, I suppose you've already blabbed to Julia that you're my brother.
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't said a word. But I'm not going to keep it a secret anymore. You're going to have to get over the fact that you're ashamed of me.
That's not what this is about.
Yes, it is. And it's your problem, not mine. I've got nothing to hide.
Don't give me that holier-than-thou stuff. You think I don't know how you got that Porsche?
Oh, go ahead, Gina. Think the worst of me, just like you do about everybody. I just hope that someday you realize that the way to get people to respect you is not by hiding who you are, but by having the guts to be honest.
Honesty's highly overrated, believe me.
Mrs. Capwell, you heard Mr. Tonnell's version of what happened the night Bunny Taglietti was shot. Would you please give us your recollection?
Yes, I would be glad to. Bunny and I never fought. He was fine when I left Las Vegas. Mr. Tonnell sent one of his men into my home to ransack it, and then they threatened me unless I returned the tape.
Objection, Your Honor. Mrs. Capwell's testimony is pure conjecture unless she can prove a connection between Tonnell and this man.
Sustained. Strike that statement from the record. Mrs. Capwell, would you please confine your testimony to relevant statements? And you may begin by explaining what all of this has to do with the charges which the state of Nevada is bringing against you.
The charges, Your Honor, have been fabricated by Mr. Tonnell as a way of blackmailing me into returning the disc.
So, you don't deny stealing the disc?
No, Your Honor, but there are extenuating circumstances.
Would you tell us what happened when your house and office were ransacked?
I was summoned to Mr. Tonnell's suite at the Capwell Hotel. He presented me with the same evidence that he has just presented you. He said that if I returned the disc, he wouldn't pursue it.
Objection, Your Honor. The witness has not established falsification of evidence.
Sustained. What did you say to Mr. Tonnell?
I told him that he could never make a murder charge stick because there simply was no motive. He said, and I quote, "Motives can be fabricated."
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Mr. Asher, will you cross-examine?
Mrs. Capwell, why did you and Mrs. Sophia Capwell not take the same plane back to Santa Barbara?
I needed to finish some business with Bunny.
Well, 8:30 was the time that the maid heard the shot. Where were you at that
I
time?
was in the lobby, waiting for a taxi to take me to the airport.
Did anyone see you?
No, I thought under the circumstances it would be best to keep a low profile.
I see. No further questions, Your Honor?
Well, I have some questions, Mrs. Capwell. Is there anyone who can corroborate your meeting with Mr. Tonnell as you described it to us?
No, Your Honor.
Well, how do you explain your fingerprints on the murder weapon?
I can't, Your Honor.
And what about the eyewitness testimony that you were seen running from the room after the shots were fired?
Your Honor, if you knew how this man operated, he has men working for him all over. Mason?
May it please the court, for the defense, Mason Capwell.